Good morning and welcome back to the One in the Celtic Fans View this Sunday morning. I hope the Sunday morning finds you well. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up to the video, and we're trying to get 350 thumbs up this morning. And share the video. Share the video with all your Celtic fans, all your Celtic friends and family. Yesterday was a fantastically good. It's been a good weekend. It has been a good weekend, and I kind of lost the rag a bit yesterday. I let a troll. Before we talk about Celtic and we talk about Scotland and stuff, I want to just get this off my chest because sometimes when you do this and people will say, "Well, you're putting yourself out there," and I can take it, and I can give stuff out, but I lost the rag a bit yesterday due to a troll online. Yeah, just a troll online, and then when I done a bit of digging, it's just another hurting hun. It is just another hurting hun, and then that kind of calmed me down a bit and made me laugh. Although he tried to get personal about my missus and stuff, and saying that a lot of stuff was fake about her being in hospital and being in ICU and shit. It's like, I'll be honest, I wanted to fucking kill him. Apologies for swearing so early in the morning, but I did, and I am being very defensive of her at the moment due to what she's went through, and sometimes when trolls have a little dig, you've got to feel sorry for them. And especially when they're Huns, because let's face it, they've not got a lot in their life going right for them. And I want to say to anybody out there that does YouTube, you expect this kind of thing, it's going to happen. The bigger the channel gets, the more likely that you're going to get the odd numpty comment. I give it out to them. Do you know what? I can take it back on a personal note when it's just talking about football. But when you start to get a bit personal, do you know what? It's not classy at all. And it's the fact that they watch our personal channel and they just to make sure, and it was the hate that came through that I thought, do you know what? Just a sad individual. And sorry about going on for this, but I needed to get it off my chest, and this is probably the best place to do it because he obviously watches this channel as well. So get it right up here because I'm living the dream. I am living the dream. I get to talk about Celtic every day, and I get to do videos about other stuff every day. And do you know, I'm living this fantastic life. Get over it. Get over it. Anyway, good morning and welcome back to the channel. I've probably just lost a lot of hope, but this is real. This is real life. Do you know what I mean? It is real life. We don't try and pretend to do anything or be anything other than what we are on this channel and our own personal channel. But anyway, let's get into the Celtic news. Dominic Lajkovic has been spoken about going back to Celtic, but Ange Postecoglou, yes, the old Celtic manager, he's been talking about Scotland. And it's a big, massive game tonight for the Euros. Today is the day where the Euros go into just the one game. Yes, it's all about. It is the end game of the groups. It is the end game of the groups, and I've got to be honest, I haven't been watching as much of the Euros as I was going to because of work, my little side hustle work thing that I do here in Spain. But that's that done and dusted. I will be watching every game from now on in. So I might be doing a live this evening. I don't think I'll do it on the Celtic channel. I'm not too sure yet. I might do it on another channel. I might do a watch along for the game because it is a game tonight where Scotland can potentially qualify for the knockout round. Scotland play Hungary at 9 o'clock tonight. Spain time, 8 o'clock tonight. Celtic Park time, and at the exact same time, Switzerland take on Germany. Germany will want to finish the group on a high. They'll be wanting to make sure that they get full points, and well, just do what Germany do, obviously. But it's all up to see what Scotland can do. It's really down to what Scotland can do, and we all want Scotland to win. I think Scotland need to win by more than 2 goals, and Switzerland needs to get beat by more than 2 goals for Scotland to finish second. I'm not sure. I've not looked at it, but yeah, I think that's what it is. But we'll see what happens. So if we get enough interest, I will do a live, a watch along, and I'll probably do it in 2 45-minute stints. Because sitting trying to do a live for the full, you need to go to the loo and stuff and get crisps and shit. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to go to the pub to watch it, so I'll probably be in the house. But if we get enough interest, we will do a live watch along and see the excitement of the Scotland game tonight. Anyway, moving on from that, Ange Postecoglou has been talking about Scotland. And he says, look, I have to declare declare that I'm on the Scotland bandwagon. See, I'm not going to edit any mistakes out. You got a lot of people who will edit stuff out and on YouTube, and it's like, no, just be normal, just be yourself. Do you know what I mean? Cock ups and all. That's what makes the channel kind of special. I have to declare, says Ange Postecoglou, I'm on the Scotland bandwagon. I follow them since I was up at Celtic for a couple of years. I got blown away by the first game. It was hard when they're facing the hosts in the first game of the tournament, said Ange. He says, but he feels that Scotland got a little bit nervous. Germany were really flying the flag and they were really flying. It says, it was probably as passive as I've seen the Scottish team in quite a long time. Their strength, they showed in the second game. They have the capacity to run, harass, and have real energy. And Robertson, McGinn, McGregor, Billy Gilmour, McTominay, even if they can bring that to the final game, they can make history. Yes, he believes, Ange Postecoglou believes that Scotland... Actually, here's the thought, right? Do you wonder if Ange Postecoglou would fancy the Scotland job once he's done earning multi-millions done? And do you think so? Well, that would be quite funny if he got the Scotland job, wouldn't it? Nah. Anyway, he has spoken about the Scotland team making history and getting through to the group, out of the group phase for the first time in the history. When you think about it, he then went on to say, he says, look, I miss Scotland fans. I miss Scotland. I miss the atmosphere that is created in Scottish grounds. Celtic fans. But anyway, he reckons that Scotland could do it tonight. Do you think that Scotland can progress for the see, when you look back, and I can think back to, the first World Cup that I can remember was 1978 in Argentina. And all the media then, everyone thought that Scotland were going to do fantastically well. Spain 82, it was just a bit of a jolly. And then we went on, we had Mexico 86 and stuff like that. But anyway, the fact that those teams back then, I think, were way better than this current Scotland team. So hats off to the manager. I do think that the manager is far too defensive. I think another manager would get a lot more out of these players. But then people will say, look, the way that the manager's played has got us through qualifying. I do also think that another manager at Scotland right now, with the current players, I think it's the most underrated. And there's not any standout stars. And I think what I'm trying to say, and it is a bit more of a club atmosphere in the Scotland camp just now. And that's what makes it even more special for Scotland. But if they can do it, it'll be fantastic. And if they don't, that'll just be Scotland at their best, really. All that promise and just not getting it over the line. But anyway, talking about all that promise, how this flows fluent right into the next segment of the video. It is almost transfer time for Celtic. Although the team across the road have been getting some players in, we're going to take a look back at some of the transfers that Celtic made last summer in this segment before we talk about Alistair Johnston and some other things, because Alistair Johnston has been given a bit of advice to someone online. A troll. And that kind of leads in from the beginning of the video where we have been targeted with trolls. And I've got to say, on a side note, the response that we've actually had on our own personal channel has been absolutely fantastic, with 99.9% of people after obviously Karen was in hospital. But anyway, we move on to the summer arrivals of 2023 and the hope that Celtic had for them, and the money that you've got to say was wasted last summer. And I think that this is why Brendan Rodgers and the team, and people are saying, like, who's actually looking for players? Well, Brendan Rodgers isn't too bad at picking out players. And that is the hand of God. Can I help you? Get your laptop for work. And there's a dog as well. All okay? No speaking today.
Hello. Laptop, see here.
Anyway, Odom Owen was signed for £2.25 million. Marco Tilio was signed for £2 million. Yang was signed for £2.1 million. Kwon signed for £850,000. He was a leftover from the Ange Postecoglou era that we had to buy with an obligation to buy. Mark Nobroki, he was bought for £4.3 million. Gustav Lagerbielke was bought for £3 million. Lewis Palmer was bought for £3.5 million. Nat Phillips was an emergency on loan signing. that Brendan Rodgers brought in because we had no defenders. A bit like the Rangers song, and their cry was no defenders. And then Paulo Bernardo was brought in on loan. Now, when you look at that lengthy number of players that were brought in last summer, although Lewis Palma, you could say that he did get pass marked, he didn't maybe produce to the height that we think he can. He is a player that can definitely progress. He's a player that's been speaking about the fact that he's not looking to move away from Celtic anytime soon because he knows he's in the Champions League. And he's a clever guy. He wants to get his ultimate move to Spain, and he knows if he can turn it on in the Champions League, he'll get his ultimate dream move to Spain that he wants. But another player that came on loan that Celtic is still trying to get the deal over the line done and dusted, and we had an obligation to buy at $6 million, but Celtic in their wisdom saying, look, he's not really a £6 million player, is he? We'll give you 3.5 or something for Paulo Bernardo from Benfica. But then when you look at Marco Tilio, he came to Celtic injured. He got a few games. He had one game where he was quick-feeted, and I thought, actually looks like he might be a player. But he was sent back to Melbourne City. Yang, is Yang the answer on the wing? I'm not too sure. People say it is, but Brendan Rodgers knows a player or not. Kwon, he was sent out to St Mirren on loan. Odom Ohm, he was just had no idea what was happening to him. And then the two defenders that were brought in for 4.3 million and £3 million look to be on their way back out the door at Celtic. So should we be concerned about the lack of activity at Celtic this summer, even though we seem to be signing players on a sort of weekly basis last summer when the manager first came through the door due to the need to bring in players? And I think we all know that we didn't need as many players as what we did bring in last summer. I think we were all surprised at the amount of players that we were bringing in. We were all expecting wholesale change within the team. There were players that Celtic maybe thought in the background that they were thinking about leaving, but they didn't get any offers coming for them. And I think that's the stark reality. Although there has been a rumour that Carl Starfelt, who left to go to Spain, to go to Celta Vigo, he did go to Celta Vigo. And one of the funny things about this story, right, is he went to Celta Vigo. There's a new manager that obviously came in at Celta Vigo, and he wants to replace him by a guy that was put out on loan to Cartagena FC. And I'm like, really? That's like... I'm not being funny, but Cartagena, all it's known for is it's Roman ruins, and it does have this amazing Roman ruin, a proper amphitheatre. It's an amazing thing, but all it's known as Cartagena is known for is that and the naval base. Football-wise, it's a wilderness, this Cartagena. But anyway, it's a bit like us replacing somebody from Arbroath for a first-team Celtic player. That's how bad it is. But he doesn't say Carl Starfelt. So, as you would expect, the Scottish media say, yes, Carl Starfelt could come back to Celtic. No, he can't. No, he's not going to come back to Celtic. He's on a lengthy contract. You've got to remember, his missus went over there to play football, so he followed her out the door. So should we be concerned about the lack of activity? No, because I think Celtic this summer are laser focused on the players that they want. And whilst everyone else just speculates and adds every name under the sun, I think what the reality of the summer transfer window for Celtic is the fact that we're laser focused on trying to get certain players in the door. And that seems to be what the delay, if you can call it a delay, even though the transfer window hasn't officially opened for another week or so. But I think when you look at it, that's probably what's going on. Anyway, talking about Celtic players that have went through a little bit of trolls online. Alistair Johnston took to Twitter, which is now known as X. Just keep calling it Twitter. I can't call it X. The whole X thing's just... Anyway, Alistair Johnston says there was a guy called Keith Woods. Canadian football team in 2020 versus 2024. Just 4 years apart. And so tragic, few countries are undergoing population replacement as rapidly as Canada, says this guy. And when you look at the pictures, it's It is what it is. But Alistair Johnston's reply is absolutely fantastic. Alistair Johnston replied, "What if I told you that myself and the other two white players pictured here are sons of immigrants as well? This is Canada. Our strength is our diversity. It's what makes our country so special, not tragic." And I think that there's no other player at Celtic that totally gets Celtic as Alistair Johnston. And everyone jumped on the bandwagon when they found out that Ange Postecoglou was the son of an immigrant as well. My father was the son of an immigrant from Ireland. Immigrants are welcome. And to all the haters out there that think that people shouldn't be allowed to move around the world, just need to look at the devastation that the British Empire caused over hundreds of years by populating countries around the world. Do you mean the Commonwealth didn't open their arms up to the British Empire, did it? They were colonised by them. And I'm glad that Alistair Johnston has stuck up for his country and stuck up for his teammates and done the right thing. And that's what's good in life. And no matter what's out there, and no matter what the bigotry, or no matter what the right wing may think may be the right way to go in life, or online trolls may be, it's sad. There's something sad going on in their life. And there was something that the missus said to me yesterday. We're solid enough in our relationship and where we are in life to not really let trolls affect us. And you shouldn't, because you've got to feel sorry for them. Because when they're spouting their anger at you online, it's not about you. It says more about them and the unhappiness in their life and the issues that they have in their life that are creating the anger and the animosity and all the negativity. There's no negativity here from us. We're just living life. And Alistair Johnston is living life to the fucking fullest. And I hope you are as well, wherever you are. Because there's Celtic fans all around the world. And all those Celtic fans that are around the world are all immigrants in different countries. They're not immigrants that have came to Scotland. They're immigrants that have left Scotland or left Ireland and left the United Kingdom and went abroad. They're all immigrants. Celtic fans all around the world are immigrants. And I think on that note, I'm going to just wrap the video up. So make sure that you give the video a massive thumbs up for the Celtic fans that are immigrants all around the world. Hasta luego.